Welcome everyone. My name is Megan Passmore and I am the Healing Touch Professional Association virtual chapter lead. I want to welcome Miss Franny Harcey to our group today. Franny is a Healing Touch certified practitioner and instructor and a qualified mentor. She was my mentor almost 10 years ago. And she also has co-founded Awakening Healing Access and has co-written a book, which I don't have next to me, but I'll get in a minute. And today she's going to be sharing with us. And I will hand it over to Franny.
Oh, thanks, Megan. Welcome, everyone. I'm really excited to be here because I love sharing. This is my passion in life, is to share information that I receive, as well as whatever my heart asks me to share. So I just want to back up just a second and clarify something, because I always like to stay in complete integrity. I am a Healing Touch certified practitioner, but I am not a Healing Touch certified instructor. I'm probably the most long-standing Healing Touch instructor in training. Jean might be able to clarify that, but I took my instructor training in 2006, the year after I received certification, and spent a year with Janet Menken, and was really guided to take instructor training. But as I kept anchoring into getting my instructorship, I kept being guided to bring the work forward, first with the back chakra activation, and then eventually Awakening Healing Access, which is my path now and bringing forward. So I'm the oldest instructor in training on the planet, maybe. So that being said, again, I'm very excited to be here, and I'm going to jump in because I have so much to share, and very excited to do so. So let me go ahead and pull up my PowerPoint, and hopefully my computer will be supportive for me here. All right, so when Megan asked me to do this, I really kind of sat with what was important to bring forward. And so I want to give you energetic tools to support with strengthening your immune system, as well as detoxifying the body. And the caveat with that was, when I sent it to Megan, it was like to support with long COVID. And I feel that we're at this time that the immune system and detoxifying the body is so important, not only with keeping ourselves vibrant and healthy, but also in supporting us in with ourselves first and foremost, but then with others that are suffering from long COVID. So I will tap into that, but I'm going to pull it back out and give you some tools to support all aspects of self, not just from the COVID aspect. But I'm going to jump in real quickly here with COVID and long COVID. So we all know what long COVID is: long-term COVID, COVID that if someone has had COVID-19 and they have symptoms that continue and persist. And I've been working with a lot of people who have been in this transitionary period where their bodies are, I don't want to say battling, but they're really having challenges. So, having challenges with these long symptoms. So these are some of the symptoms. I don't have to read them. You all know and have probably worked with many people or experienced this yourself, these long-term symptoms. And what I'm finding is that the more people I work with that have been vaccinated have less symptoms than those that haven't been. And I'm not taking a stance either way. I'm just making statement from the people that I've worked with over the last 2 years. So I first started working with COVID when people started having, in the very beginning, and started having symptoms, and did a lot of clearing from the field and moving the energy out and supporting them energetically. And then moving into the vaccine, support people with the vaccine for that vaccine to do what it's meant to do and clear any adverse effects within the system. So I've worked with probably hundreds of COVID or non-COVID, but vaccine related challenges. So stress, we're in a real time of stress. Now, this is an older article from 2018, but I popped it up here because I felt it was important, because the immune system goes into overdrive when we're stressed. And I know people who don't have COVID and haven't had COVID and are just trying to live their life in this pandemic time, that are really overstressed and are starting to have some symptoms within their physicality. So our gift as healers, energy workers, is to really support them energetically. And the more energetic support I find that I can help people with, the more readily they're able to stay kind of in a holding pattern isn't the word, but in this place of comfort where they aren't going too out of line and where they don't dip. Because I'm also finding some, I don't know that it's really depression, but I think it's kind of a depressed state with everything that's happening on the planet right now. So stress definitely plays into the immune system getting stressed, which then can ultimately potentially lead into autoimmune disease. So this is from the CDC, and I just wanted to share a little bit about it. Much of this is written now because so many people are experiencing these difficulty of sleeping, physical reactions within the body, even if they've not had COVID, but just with what's going on right now on the planet. Changes in appetite. I know many people that, and I will say, in myself included, I've probably gained 10 pounds over the last year and a half because I'm trying to self-regulate, and my eating has shifted. So I really have to not force myself, but I really have to encourage myself to get out and get my walks in and self-care, not only my mental capacity, but my physical body, because it is so important to stay healthy. So these are just some of the challenges. I'm not going to read them all because I know you can read while I'm speaking. And then again, this is from the CDC website. So they're starting to ask us to take care of our body, taking those deep breaths, stretching, meditating, eating healthy, well-balanced, exercise. These are some of the things that are being asked now from the general public, not just within the healing world. So really important that we try to honor ourselves. And first and foremost, I'm speaking to me and to you as an individual. What's most important for you to do? We have to self-care in order to support someone else. Because if we're not healthy and caring for ourselves, how am I able to show up in my purest, highest frequency if I'm not doing the work to make sure that I'm in a high frequency? And, I always go back with this. I always go back to my Janet Menken story when I was working with her. And she said, really, it doesn't matter if you lay your hands on one person, Franny. What matters is that you do your own work to clear your own field, to be the purest vessel, so that when you walk on the planet, you exude that and you help shift the consciousness of humanity. And so those aren't her exact words. I have it written down what her words are, but that's, she didn't mean that she didn't want me to support people and help them and lay my hands on them. What she really was saying, that if I'm not doing my own work, then I'm not going to be the vessel that will be able to support another. So the energetics of COVID. So most of us are empaths. We know that through our experience and working and just being on the planet. We can pick up other people's malaise or challenges or emotions. Recognizing that is really important. And then how do you self-regulate your own energy system so that you begin to create healthy relationships to others, healthy boundaries, and not a block to say, I'm not taking anything, but to learn how to regulate what you're willing to take into your field. So emotions carry energetic frequencies, and lower frequencies open ourselves to prolonged symptoms. So I find when I work with clients that have symptoms, whether we're talking COVID long-term or whether we're talking any type of symptoms, if I give them a meditation and have them really anchor in, and a lot of times in my sessions, I will actually voice guide them, tracking their energy field and supporting them. And I will have a little recorder and voice guide them with that meditation. And then I send that to them so they can listen to it and it's specific to them. It's a great way to support someone, meeting them exactly where they're at within their energy system. So self-care is really not an indulgence. It's really a discipline. We have to choose to eat healthy, regular exercise, whatever that means for you, right? If it's walking, if it's running, if it's, lifting weights, every one of us needs to look at what that means. And then adequate sleep. Mental health, limit your media, read what you love and engage your interests emotionally, talk to the right people, and really discerning who the right people are. I've had to let go of relationships, long-term relationships that hurt my heart to let go of, but I also knew that those people weren't willing to meet me where I was at and meet me in the frequency that I could be in relationship with them. So all relationships don't necessarily last a lifetime. There are relationships that come in and ebb and flow and go out and come in, and you may have to let people go, but for your own health, right? And emotionally connect with others, as well as heal your old wounds. So it doesn't mean digging up old wounds, but it does when something reoccurs for you. If you're overly attached to someone, say, and you say, going back to talking to the right people, if I'm overly attached to someone and I know that they need to be in my life because they feed me in a certain way, I would look at that as, what is my old wound? What does Franny needs to heal so that she can find whatever she is looking for in someone else within herself to stand on her own and not have to need someone else. So spiritually, daily spiritual practice, whatever that looks like for you. Practice going inward for your answers before going outside of yourself. So it's always coming inward. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with someone who's looking out here for the answers versus the answers are always within. And I think this pandemic has really taught us, or the invitation has been there, to really anchor into yourself and look inward to find the answers. Find the beauty in nature. I find that when I can get out and sit, even if it's out on my land here at our house, and just sit on a rock or just be present with nature, things shift within me. And what's supporting high frequency? Well, what does that mean, maintaining? How do we do that? We really need to be aware of our own energy system. So it's important for me to know what my energy system is day to day. It's not something that I take for granted, and it's not something that I am not willing to not work at. Just as I try to get my walks in daily, I try to eat right, and I say try because it's always a day to day, moment to moment thing. So my being aware of what's going on in my own energy system is ultimately important. And then daily consciously shifting your own frequency through meditative practices. And meditative practices might be that you sit and you listen to Chopin or Bach, and you go inward and you find that ecstatic joy. It may be sitting in your quiet place and consciously shifting the frequency that moves through your physical and energy being. And when we get a little farther on, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this. So hang on, just give me 1 second because I have too much going on here on my page. Okay. So we're going to be working with the frequencies of sulfur. I'm really sorry. I'm trying to find this so that I can see what I'm presenting because there, I'll just move it to the side. So sulfur, it is really the coat of many colors. So we're going to be working with this frequency of sulfur and its transmutative properties. This was brought in for me a couple of years ago when COVID first came, and it's been upgraded and shifted to work with a variety of things. But it really is this unique substance because at different temperatures, it has different atomic organization. So the crystalline sulfur is this brittle glass yellow. And so when we look at what's going on, it really is this self-esteem and how can we support that? And brown, it shifts to brown, to red, to orange, to purple as it's heated, as it changes. So these are all the chakras that what's happening on the planet right now is really happening, is this 10th chakra. It's iridescent. And a few years ago, we were guided to shift the frequency of the chakras from brown, red, orange, yellow, green to iridescent color because the frequency shift as we continue to work with it. So it shifted to an iridescent. So I'm actually going to do this with you right now because, so visualize in your hand the color red. If you want to put your hands in front of you and invite in the frequency of red. So as you hold this red, feel into it, feel the warmth, feel how it has that low hum. And now invite it to shift or bring in iridescent to weave through it. And this sparkling iridescent frequency weaves with the red, shifting the frequency. It still feels warm, but there's a higher vibration with it. The rate with which it moves shifts. Some of you might sense that or feel that. Just be curious. So as you begin to work with the chakra colors, invite them to shift to this iridescent frequency. Okay. We began working with a group of iridescent masters. When I say we, I mean Awakening Healing Access, or lovingly we call ourselves AHA. And when AHA began to work with this iridescent color, a group of iridescent masters who are high frequency beings brought this and began to weave it into our work with us. And as that happened, the frequency shift of the whole energy system. So we have been guided to continue on that path to work with these iridescent frequencies. So as you can see, these colors are very important to what's happening on the planet. And so we'll be working with this. And sulfur is like a chameleon. It does have many different molecular structures. As pure sulfur morphs from one bonding structure to another, its colors, frequencies, and energetic structure shift. It has a great potential as a catalyst to transmute a variety of organisms, including viruses, at an energetic level. So medicinal properties of sulfur. There's sulfur-based soap, there's salt and sulfur sulfide, there's antibiotics, penicillin has sulfur in it. And as we know, essential oils boost the immune system with antiviral and antibacterial. Garlic and onion are both highly potent with sulfur. And then these don't contain sulfur, but lye soap also is used, and it contains some potassium or sodium hydroxides, which destroy organic matter. And so I'll use lye soap. If you can find it, it's a great support for the system. And mercurochrome, people get a little fearful of mercury, but the frequency of mercury in its purest form is very supportive. So mercurochrome is disodium salt, which also has antiseptic properties and is very safe. So sulfur in its original form, pyrite is a type of sulfur, copper sulfite, sulfur, and silver sulfite. These are all different forms of sulfur. So these also, utilizing these tools, I will sometimes sleep with, this is one of my favorite, the sulfur here is one of my favorite that I will actually sleep with it sometimes to support my immune system. We all probably have pyrite because of the molecular structure of it. It's also very supportive. All of these are very supportive. So you can utilize these minerals, crystals within your healing practice or for yourself. I will sometimes create, I like to experiment with crystals, and I'll sometimes I'll place these crystals and maybe a few others in a form on like a Merkaba on the ground, and I'll sit within them and soak in the frequencies, right? So utilize them how it might support you. All right. So it acts as a chelating agent in the body. So we're going to bring it in energetically. This chelation process enables the enzymes and cellular biochemical processes available to take up minerals into the physical body and into the energy body. And then once those minerals are, we've opened and chelated, minerals and nutrients then can replenish at a cellular level. And going back to this, it can support the physicality, but everything is from an energetic place. So when I speak, I'm not saying that, from a medically proven place, but from an energetic state, utilizing the frequencies of these minerals can support the physicality in that format. Okay. Again, minerals here, these are all just different minerals and how they support the physical. And I highlighted down below, sulfur supports the blood, the skin, and it resists bacteria. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, let me check my time here. All right, we'll talk about a little bit about high frequency shift and the importance of shifting your frequency to be able to stay in a higher frequency throughout your day. So in Awakening Healing Access, this is the basis of all of our work. Is first and foremost, me as the practitioner, me as, even if I'm not behind the table, if I'm doing my own work, is to first and foremost, each day, shift my frequency. And we have descriptions, detailed description of this. We have a basic high frequency shift was our original frequency shift, and then the advanced high frequency shift in our book, Awakening to High Frequencies, a guidebook. And so for further reference, you can go there, but I'm going to briefly walk you through this. So we always invoke the highest frequencies of being, particularly the Christ consciousness, to support us. And then we move into a protection. To create a sacred space for me when I'm going into meditation, to create a sacred space for my client if I'm working with someone. Then we anchor our hara, anchoring it to the pure, timeless earth, to the core of the earth. And then Vivaxis alignment. So the Vivaxis, I'm not going to talk about it. I don't have time, but the Vivaxis is are not lengthy. I'll give you a brief. Vivaxis is another grounding, energetic tool that we come in with to the planet. The Vivaxis is a sphere connected within the grid lines of the earth, and it connects into our left foot. And in working with it for a number of years, I find that's like the hara. It is a different energetic structure, but if the Vivaxis isn't clear and connected and purified, like just as we work with the hara, the grounding for someone is more challenging. Just as if the 10th chakra is not open and vibrant, it also supports less grounding if it's not clear. Then we will go into hara transmuting and infusing. So we work with Archangel Metatron. He does the work. We don't manipulate the hara. We invite hara to Metatron with his cube to transmute the hara, and work with Raziel and some other beings to support that. And I will voice guide this in the meditation, but first I wanted to just give you a little overview. And chakra opening and unification. So we work with the 12 chakra system, expanding our core essence and hara through all 12 levels of the field. So Awakening Healing Access uses core essence. It can be synonymous with core star when Healing Touch and Barbara Brennan's work. We find that the essence is really who we are. And we work with expanding the core essence through the hara and all 12 levels of the field, and then core essence elevation. So many, there is a limited thinking if we perceive the core essence not being malleable. The core essence, in Brennan first started talking about it in the abdomen, and it was actually a point, a vortex where the core essence resided, and that was back in the 70s and 80s. We have evolved as humans. And in Healing Touch, we talk about it from the heart space where our core essence radiates. And we are under the assumption that we have the potentiality to raise core essence beyond our physicality so that we can maintain and grow to a higher frequency. So this picture is one of our graphics and depicts, as you'll see, core essence rising above the physical form and connecting with Oversoul, which is here, and then Source. When we first started working with core essence and raising it out of the body a number of years ago, Tim's guides came in and said, once the core essence is moved beyond the physicality, we are no longer limited by our physical form, which means that we have the potential to raise our frequency and be physical in human form and do what we're here to do, because we have to be physical. That's why we came here, to do this earth work. But we have not better, but we have more access to those higher frequencies and can maintain really a life that is less gravitates toward trauma or drama, because it doesn't resonate in our field anymore, because we've done enough of our work to clear our own trauma, to clear our own stuff, that we can keep raising our frequency. All right, so we're first going to experience ourselves visualizing and experiencing this sulfur pool. This sulfur purifies all aspects of our being and our body. So close your eyes if you would, or keep them open. I'm not going to dictate here, but visualize or experience or imagine yourself standing at a hot sulfur pool. Most of you know what sulfur smells like. If you don't, just think of if you light a match and then you blow it out, or if you smell the match before you light it, that's sulfur. So visualize this sulfur permeating your field and your body. You might start to smell it for those of you that are strong in your fifth chakra. You might start to taste it. You might start to feel it for those of you that are kinesthetic. And slowly come back. And then we're going to move to a pool with hot minerals. Once we've been purified, detoxified, we're going to be moving to this pool of hot mineral. The mineral doesn't necessarily have a smell. Sometimes it has a little bit of smell, but so now transport yourself now to a hot mineral pool and feel the frequency shift. It's like my sense is that it just kind of flows into my body. I can feel the nutrients. I can feel the steam. And as we move on, we're going to, I'm sorry, my computer just locked. Then lastly, we're going to be working with this iridescent liquid silvery mercury color. So again, I want to go back and reiterate that it's not mercury coming into your field. It is a mercury frequency, this silvery iridescent, and then we infuse these turquoise vapors. Turquoise comes from the earth template, and it supports the physicality. So visualize yourself standing in this, or experiencing this iridescent turquoise and iridescent silver mercury permeating you. The highest frequency possible of the purest forms of those frequencies. Nice. So many of you may have been able to experience the shift from the sulfur to the mineral to the turquoise and mercury frequency. I find that unless we I can talk all that I want, but unless you experience the frequencies themselves and begin to embody them, it stays in the mind and it stays in the head. So your job or goal today will be to just allow yourself to experience the frequencies. I will voice guide you through everything. There's nothing you need to do. All right, it's just 9:30. I'm going to show 2 more slides quick, and then I'm going to voice guide you on a meditation. And you'll have access to this. Megan, do you break out the meditations, or do you just have the whole recording for them?
The whole recording.
Okay, so then they can fast forward to the meditation. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. So you will have access to this post-retreat, or post call. Mm-hmm. So this is the book that Megan was talking about. This is the first of a series of books. The guides are very adamant that we're writing. They're telling us 7, but we'll see where we go with that. So our second book is actually at the publisher right now. So this is Awakening to Higher Frequencies. It's a guidebook, and it does go through all of our AHA's premise, how we see the energy system. And the reasons it's a guidebook is because we take you step by step through all of the different structures of how we see the energy system, from the incarnation grid to the soul field grid, the flashal grid, the DNA grid. We talk about the core essence, about the Vivaxis. Everything is written up really well in there, so you have a good handbook. And then we actually take you through, it was the 2020 retreat in Minnesota. So there's numerous protocols in there, a very powerful protocol. So we are very excited to share this because we know many people aren't able to come to retreats and travel. So one of the reasons we did this book. We're also, hopefully April 1st, we're coming out with a series of modules of all the protocols that we teach in the book. We will be doing, actually be kind of like a mini retreat. It'll be PowerPoints, us, Tim and I, educating on the PowerPoints of the history behind each protocol. And then you will receive 6 healing protocols in video format that you can duplicate and be in the frequency of that. So that's a little blurb about the Awakening to Higher Frequencies book. And then for those of you that don't know, Tim wrote a book on everything in energy, including you, for children, and it's quite magical. And it actually gives children tools to, and parents, quite frankly. It's beautifully written and shares about the energy system in a real simple way. So I wanted to share those. So where should we take you back to? I'm going to just go ahead and stop sharing because I'm done with this. Wonderful. So let's all just take a deep breath and get yourself comfortable. Find a place. You can lay down if you want to lay down. You can sit. Sometimes people, excuse me, are smart and have their Zoom call in their healing touch room, and then they are able to just lay it down on their own treatment table and receive. So this meditation, this self-care healing meditation, is to support you in transmuting the energetic construct of all viruses, to provide energetic clearing of all viruses and bacteria and the effects within the energetic and physical body. It is meant to create the optimal space for transmuting, detoxifying, clearing, strengthening, and protection from short and long-term effects of all disruptions in the body at the energetic level. to particularly strengthen the immune system and provide long-term support. As you take a few deep breaths, begin to release anything that you no longer need on all levels of your being, physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Feel yourself deeply connected to this beautiful earth that we call home. And imagine that you're deeply rooted through your feet within the pure, timeless earth as she cradles and supports you in the self-healing meditation. We invite all of our angelic guides, all the unseen helpers that are right for this moment for yourself, and recognizing that you are healed and whole, connected directly to Source. We particularly invite the Christ consciousness as pure frequency of love. Bring down a coating of pure white light, fully surrounding you, followed by iridescent rainbow colors. And then a coating of sparkly gold. Imagine it being painted on you, around you, through you. And then imagine a large globe, faceted like the flower of life in iridescent colors, fully surrounds you. We invite all energetic and physical aspects of self to be strengthened. Now visualize from your dantian in the lower abdomen. Send down a pillar of light. Make it a 6-inch wide or wider, whatever is appropriate for you. Pillar. Your hara can expand to 6 to 8 to 10 inches. From the dantian, let it drop past your feet, through all the layers of the earth, the sand, the clay, the bedrock, down to the very core of the earth where a crystal with your frequency resides, with your one note. Anchor this hara and your dantian into your crystal. Visualize the crystal as a certain color, whatever is right for you. At the very core of Mother Earth. And when it feels anchored, draw the energy up from your crystal and the core of the earth through the hara to the dantian, blending the earth energy. It might look vibrant, warm, or neon orange. Allow yourself to experience it in a new way, blending the earth frequency in your dantian with your dantian. Vibrating, giving nutrients to the lower part of your body. Keeping part of your awareness at the dantian, bring part of your awareness to the soul seat in the upper chest, at the high heart. Make contact with your soul seat, with your soul's longing in physical form. This vibrant light in your chest. Notice and allow it to expand to fill the front and back of your chest. Expanding and vibrating, vibrant. Now drop that 6 or wider inch tube of the hara from the soul seat to the dantian. From the dantian down, let it travel the hara all the way to your crystal within the earth, and anchor your soul's work and your soul into that earth plane, into your crystal, feeling safe to do so. And once it feels anchored, Invite the earth frequency to travel back up the hara through all the layers of the earth to the dantian, back up to the soul seat. Filling the soul seat with the earth energy within your physical form, blending, keeping part of your awareness here. Move above your head a few feet with your awareness. Connect into your brightest star, that point, that individuation point that keeps you connected to divine source above, but allows you to be individuated. Invite the expansion and vibrancy of your bright star, of your individuation, to expand, get warm, and heat up. And then invite and drop your hara, 6-inch tube or wider, from your brightest star down through the center of your head, kissing the soul seat as it travels down and kisses the dantian and travels down through the center of the earth to your crystal, anchoring source above into the earth plane, anchoring all of you to the earth plane, all aspects of your being, feeling safe and vibrant. And when that anchors in, draw the earth energy back up through your body to the dantian, to the soul seat, and above to the individuation, connecting you to source above and source below. Feel the vibrancy moving through your physicality, through the hara. Give yourself permission to be this vibrant light on the planet. Bring awareness to the dantian and invite lines from the dantian across the hips, down each leg, connecting down each leg through to the core of the earth, anchoring with 2 more pillars. And from the soul seat, across your shoulders, down each arm, to the core of the earth, anchoring 2 more pillars. Now see yourself as this 5-pillared being of light, grounded, strong, and powerful on the earth plane. Anchored. And we invite the Vivaxin and the angels that work with the Vivaxis to strengthen, purify, revitalize your Vivaxis. That sphere of light below the left foot as it moves up into the body. Ask that it be fully transmuted to support you being strong on this physical plane. And then Metatron comes in with his cube and with your permission places his cube in your crown. As this cube oscillates down through the center of your hara, clockwise transmuting, restructuring your hara to optimal presence and knowing of who you are here to be on this earth plane. As it vacillates clockwise down the center of the hara to the very core of the earth, it reverses spin and comes back up, purifying, transmuting more. Out through the crown, reverses spin and goes back down one more time. And reverses at the core of the earth, comes back up, refining, restructuring the internal part of the hara. And out the crown, Archangel Raziel comes in and drips this beautiful iridescent gold frequency through the center of your hara, infusing it where all the restructuring was done, supporting, anchoring your hara. As we spin up our chakras, iridescent red at the root. Invite it to spin, vibrant. Moving to the sacral, iridescent orange. Invite it to spin faster. Front and back, iridescent yellow at the solar plexus. Back and front. Iridescent green at the heart. Invite it to spin and balance back and front. Iridescent sky blue at the throat. Back and front, invite it to spin faster and balance. Iridescent indigo at the brow. Back and front, spinning, bringing balance and vibrancy. The crown, iridescent violet at the back and front of the crown, spinning faster, keeping all the lower chakras spinning. We move to the 8th above the head, a few inches above the head, iridescent silver, invite it to spin. Let your energy system know what to do. Don't allow your mind to get in the way. Your body and energy system know how to follow. The soul star or 9th chakra, invite it to spin faster, iridescent copper, balancing. 10th chakra, earth star below the feet, invite it to spin, iridescent earth tones. The 11th chakra, which is a metallic blue and has an intimate relationship with the fascial field, invite the 11th field to expand and vibrate. 12th iridescent gold, invite it to expand and balance. Now bring your awareness to the very center of your heart space, where your core essence resides. And if it's elsewhere, invite it to the heart space. Vibrant spark of life that you are, to the very center of that spark, and expand into the physicality through every cell of your body. Allow your divine essence and core being to fill you. Breathe back to a point of light, and as you exhale, let it fill out to the first level of the field, and invite Hara to expand to the first level. Back to a point of light, always returning to the center. And as you exhale, let it fill out to the second level of the field, the emotional, back, front, top, bottom, left, right. And allow your Hara to expand. Breathe it back to a point of light, and as you exhale, let it fill out to the third level of the field, the mental level, and invite Hara to expand. Back to a point of light, and as you exhale, let it fill out to the fourth level of the field, the emotional, spiritual aspect of you. Invite Hara to expand, back, front, top, bottom, left, right. Breathe it back to a point of light, and as you exhale, let it fill out to the fifth level, the etheric template. Invite Hara to expand this wide just for this moment. Breathe it back to a point of light, and as you exhale, let it expand to the sixth level of the field, the celestial body, and invite Hara to expand. Breathe it back to a point of light, and as you exhale, let it fill out to the seventh level of the field, the etheric template. Invite Hara to expand and meet you there, front, back, top, bottom, left, right. Breathe it back to a point of light. Expand out to the eighth level of the field with your core essence, with your divine being. Invite Hara to expand. Ninth level of the field. Invite core essence out. And invite Hara out. Breathe it back to a point of light. And as you exhale, breathe it out to the 10th level of the field. Expanded. Feel your expansion and invite Hara out. Breathe back to that very center core essence of who you are. And as you exhale, let it fill out to the 11th level of the field and invite Hara out. Breathe back to a point of light one last time. And as you exhale, let it fill out to the 12th level of the field, back, front, top, bottom, left, right. Feel yourself as this vibrant, expanded being of light. Feel the difference within your physicality as you're expanded. Notice the shifts within your being. And I'm going to invite you now to bring your field into the appropriate width for you so that you're not uncomfortable with too wide a field. Self-regulate. I'm going to invite you to bring your hands in front of your heart space. Cup them. And as you cup them in front of your heart space, I want you to imagine or visualize a Merkaba being formed. Metatron will bring a Merkaba. And invite your core essence to come into that Merkaba. This Merkaba is your tool, is your vehicle to help you move your core essence. And gently raise your Merkaba with your core essence to your throat space and let it re-regulate. Nothing you need to do other than being present. Allow this to occur. And slowly raise it to your brow. And as you raise it to your brow, we invite any rewiring, restructuring within the brain. You might feel rewiring. Allow your core essence to reside at this frequency. And slowly raise it to your crown. Inviting your core essence, your divine spark, to reside here for the moment. For the rest of this treatment, so you can slowly lower your hands. Notice the frequency shift within your being. Now visualize or imagine yourself standing at the opening of a beautiful forest. As you scan the area, you see an illuminated path leading into the trees. This path is iridescent, liquid, silvery mercury in color that leads the way and lights the way. Step onto this path and follow it. As it winds forward, it leads you to a beautiful opening where there is a steaming hot sulfur pool. As you approach the pool, you begin to smell the sulfur and feel the heat. You notice a spark of liquid mercury color, and you notice a sparkling staircase that leads you to a crystalline platform of light hovering just above the hot, steamy pools. Step onto this stair and follow them up, and allow yourself to sit or lay gently on the platform, which hovers about 4 feet above the pools. You can sit, you can lay, and feel the steam and feel the heat rise. But the heat won't burn you. It will only move through you to purify, transmute, detoxify, and clear the energetic constructs of all virus, bacteria, and lingering effects. You will smell and feel the sulfur as it moves through and around you. Allow it to permeate every cell of your energy and physical body to clear and cleanse and detoxify. Allow it to transmute what isn't serving you with this high heat and multitude of sulfur frequencies. There are so many important elements in the sulfur and heat that support in healing and transmuting. Allow yourself to receive. Allow yourself to be purified and detoxified. Allow the steam and heat to engulf you. As it moves through you, it dissolves the disrupting energetic constructs. Slowly begin to bring awareness to your body. Allow this to come to completion. You're invited to stand and gently walk back down the silvery liquid staircase. When you reach the ground, you'll now see a liquid iridescent gold lighted path. This path you're being invited to follow will take you to another pool. It will wind through the forest to a hot mineral pool. No longer the sulfur smells, but the minerals, many healing minerals that the earth provides to support us in healing. As you wander the path, you'll see the hot mineral pool before you. Here, there's a liquid iridescent gold staircase that leads to another crystalline platform. Slowly ascend the staircase and find your place to gently sit or lie on the platform. Begin to feel the hot, steamy mineral waters rise through and around you, purifying your energy and physical body. These minerals and frequencies that they hold are repairing, healing, replenishing, and supplying you with all the right nutrients, minerals, and support that you need after transmuting the disruptive energies throughout your energy body. Bask in this. Feel the heat rise through you, through every cell of your body, nurturing you. Allow yourself to enjoy the replenishing, lavish in these frequencies. Allow your body to take it all in. And that feels complete. You're invited to stand once more and make your way back down to the ground and follow one last path. This path is a silvery path infused with turquoise color. As you follow this path, it will not take you to another pool, but to an opening where there is a crystalline table. As you step up this lighted staircase, make yourself comfortable by lying on this table. As you lie there, the frequencies and silvery light flows through and over you. This mercury-colored frequency infused with the iridescent turquoise. It infuses your mucous membranes, supporting and creating a barrier from all viruses and bacteria and disruptions that won't serve your physical body or your energy body. It flows into your nose and into your mouth, coating the mucous membranes, down your throat into the esophagus. Allow this vapor to move through the bronchial tubes, down into the lungs, creating support and protection. Feel it expand in your lungs, coating, protecting, creating that barrier through every inch and nook and cranny of your lungs. Let it now flow and drift through every part of your body, through the brain and the whole head. Allow it to move through the heart, the liver, the stomach, through the spleen, the pancreas, the gallbladder, through the small intestines. Let it flow through the kidneys, the colon, the whole pelvic area. Feel this turquoise silvery vapor fill every cell of your body. Invite it to fill the nervous system, the bloodstream, the lymph system, allowing your whole immune system to be strengthened. Let it fill every cell and the space between the cells. Let it fill every pore of your body, creating a barrier and protection. Let your skin be vibrant with this turquoise frequency. Allow yourself to bask in it. Feel yourself whole and vibrant. A group of divine masters has stepped up to the crystalline table and have created an iridescent rainbow and platinum frequency 6-inch plasma bubble that they flow over and around you, fully encasing you in this light to seal in the work that has been done, holding you in wholeness as the divine being that you are in human and spirit form. Lay here as long as you like or what feels right for you. And only come back to yourself and this space when you're fully grounded and in your time. So it is.